My esteemed pleasure to welcome from the Broadway stage, Roz White, who is here in Reno with the touring show of Tina, the Tina Turner musical. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Katie. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, I appreciate it so much. I was telling you before the show, and a lot of our viewers know that I am such a theater geek. So the opportunity to talk with you is a huge honor for us. You were telling me before in the commercial break that you have been with the touring show since the beginning. Tell us a little bit about the show and your character.
Absolutely. Well, it's Tina, the Tina Turner musical, and my character is Zelma Bullock, who plays Tina Turner's mother. Well, Zelma is Tina Turner's mother. I play Zelma Bullock, and Zelma is an interesting mom. She had a lot to fight against in 1939 when Tina Turner was born, Anna Mae Bullock, including an abusive husband. So she was not only fighting against society at the time, but there was an abusive relationship, and she chose to get out of that household, leaving young Anna Mae behind and taking her older sister. It's a complicated relationship. Anna Mae eventually moves in with her mother at 17, but she soon meets Ike and her life changes forever, and then she becomes this huge star that we now know as Tina Turner, all the while still having this interesting relationship with her mother, who I believe is like the catalyst for a lot of her success, because her mother pushes her in the way that some moms push daughters. And so it's a very deep character. I love playing Zelma. She's funny. She's also not easy to get along with sometimes, but she can also be very, very endearing. And so it's a great layered character. The show is incredible.
Yes.
I get to be a part of an amazing cast of over 26 people telling the story of this icon every night, and we are committed to upholding Tina Turner's legacy together, and it's just a beautiful experience. So yeah, I'm excited.
That is really interesting. So I know you have done theater since you were a little girl. I'm sure that means lots of different roles. When you take on a role that's a character who's a true person, a real person, what was that process like, and was it at all intimidating knowing that you have to be true to this person that did live and breathe and exist?
Absolutely. You always want to honor that person's memory, of course, but you also want to tell the truth. And so a lot of reading, a lot of research. I read Tina's autobiography, I, Tina, and found out that my character had been a smoker since a little child, 10 years old back then. She was, and so I incorporated a cigarette into my characterization of Zelma, because it's a part of what I read about her. And when I met family members that came to see the show, they were like, you sound so much like, you know, Ma, they called her Zelma, Ma for short. And so there's a lot of reading, there's a lot of studying mannerisms, and then studying the period and knowing how a woman dressed and held herself at the time. Women weren't really allowed to smoke in public at the time, so Zelma doing it was a defiance. It was being rebellious at the time. So just,
very much fit her personality.
Yes. So it's just really great to study a character, and then to understand what it's like to be a woman that gives birth to someone that's as powerful, because you don't know that when your child is born. You can sometimes sense that they're going to be special, but that power that Tina was able to harness in herself, no one could have predicted that. And so her mother probably felt really strange sometimes watching this child that she gave birth to go far beyond she would ever imagine, what she would ever imagine. So it's wonderful to be able to do that research and to bring that kind of a woman to life.
Yeah, I think, and I'm probably going to misquote it here, but it really stuck out with me. There was a line that your character says about it's hard to love fire, it's hard to hug fire, and I just was like, oh my goodness, that is a powerful statement to come from a mother to a daughter. I just, the chill bumps. I mean, the whole show gives you chill bumps. And there was a lot that I thought I knew about Tina Turner's story, but I didn't. Was there anything that kind of surprised you as you took this project on?
Well, I mean, I wasn't surprised because I grew up listening to Tina Turner. The Private Dancer album came out when I was about 14 years old, so that was a staple in the household. And then my grandmother had told me about Ike and Tina from years prior, but I was a fan of the movie, What's Love Got to Do with It?
Right.
So I went to see that movie while I was in college, and it just changed my whole life. And I never imagined that I would be playing Tina's mother. Of course, I thought I would be playing Tina one day.
Oh, we all do, yes.
But, you know, she had to come from somewhere, right? And so I just think that power, but also fire is hard to hold. Tina's grandmother tells her that her voice is like fire in heaven all at once.
Wow.
And her mother says fire is hard to embrace at night.
Yes.
And so what her grandmother was telling her was so special about her was what her mother found the hardest to embrace. And it's because raising a child in a time when picking cotton was their profession and you were supposed to be quiet and mannerable, Tina was anime, was out singing and running and jumping and dancing, and that kind of child you just kind of want to, you know, you don't want them to get in trouble, you don't want them to get hurt, and so it was difficult, but I'm so glad that Anime and Tina were who they were, because they did not care about what society said they should be, how they should act. She just flew and she soared, and she was, you know, she used her voice to become an icon. And so that is just so important that we teach our little girls and our little boys and our, you know, our little people that they have this fire inside of them that no one should be able to put out. And so we have little kids in the show with us, and they get to learn that with us. It's amazing.
Are so talented.
Incredible.
Oh my
Incredible.
gosh, you guys. Like the girl who played Little Anime, she came out and sang this part at the very end of the show, just belting out the iconic Proud Mary song, and it was just like jaw-dropping.
Absolutely.
The amount of fire coming from this little girl.
Incredible. Brianna Cameron is incredible. She came to our cast as an understudy for Young Anime. We had Ava Johnson prior who was a powerhouse as well, and when Brianna came in, she has we say a 70-year-old woman inside of her, and she opened her mouth to sing, and I was like, what is going on? And her personality matches the maturity of her voice. You know, every time I come off stage from a scene, she goes, "You slayed that," and I'm just like, "You're 10." But I just love working with her. And yesterday we made this beautiful video of this viral trend that's going on. So I got to sing with her and have fun. I mean, these kids are incredible. Brianna is just a joy. And when she says that first, "If you come down to the river," the audience is like, oh. You know, it's just amazing. It's amazing. So it's really great to work with people. And I say every time that Tina Turner, just by living her life, has provided opportunities for generations. So that is the most important part of this experience for me, is that I get to be on stage with a young person that will one day be where I am. And it continues. The legacy continues. And Brianna is an example of that legacy.
Yeah.
So love you, little girl.
Yeah, love you too. I was so impressed by you, Brianna. So, real fast, we talk about the love of theater, and you mentioned that you did theater from the time you were 4 years old until now. I did theater growing up, and I just think the power of theater is so incredible in shaping who we are as people. What would you say about kind of your love of theater and what you recommend for maybe those thespians out there who are maybe the weird kids, like possibly we were too? I mean, give us some advice about just the love of theater and what it can do for your life.
Well, I told this story in the car on the way over here. For me, it changed my life in that I had a bully when I was 12 years old. They used to follow me around and threaten me in school. And one of my teachers, Carol Foster, love you so much, asked me to sing in the talent show. I don't know how she knew I could sing. I think I was singing in choir, and I sang in the talent show, and that bully became my best friend.
Wow.
She for some reason, me being able to sing and me being able to have the audience react to me the way that they did made her want to be my friend. And maybe she wanted to be my friend all along and didn't know how to say it, which is where the bullying came from. So I would say to any young person that feels they have that inside of them to follow it as long as you possibly can, and let it follow you and let it catch you and just let it take over so that you can live the life that you're supposed to live. It may be for you to be in another profession, but to have those skills of self-esteem and presenting yourself and talking to people, those are things that are going to carry you far in life. And just empathy is learned, I think, through theater, and seeing someone else's, walking in someone else's shoes is the biggest part of it for me. You have empathy for someone else. So yeah, that would be my message to any young artist.
I bow down. That is absolutely beautiful, and I always love talking to the thespians out there, because seriously, it can be hard sometimes. You know, maybe theater isn't always cool where you're at, but trust me, it is one of the best things that can ever happen to you and you can be a part of. So Tina, the Tina Turner musical, now playing at the Pioneer Center. Those dates there are on your screen. I want to remind you guys, though, tickets are going fast. Last night was sold out. There's only like 20, 25, 2 tickets available for certain shows, so you want to get your tickets ASAP. They will be here until Sunday. So Roz White, bravo. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll be right back after this quick break.